reason behind Rashford's shocking form revealed? Kinda. Was there a fallout between Ten Hag and Rashford? Not really. Did the media build it up to be something that it wasn't? Most definitely. And man, Van Nistelrooy, our man at the club right now, and the reason why Manchester United are working a lot better, all that revealed as well. No public funding for Manchester United and government funding for the new stadium. More details on that. But we're digging into Marcus Rashford and Erik Ten Hag and how the situation has evolved over the last few months, what part Van Nistelrooy played in this, and how the media has sort of mixed up everything to make it look like it was something that really wasn't there, but they didn't really mean to either. All explained in the video and the live show this evening. Welcome along, everybody. Get your comments in the live section right now. Please comment after the show has finished as well if you are playing catch up on all topics we are discussing on the show tonight. Please give the video a like, of course, and obviously make sure you've hit that subscribe button and bell notification button alongside it to make sure you miss out on no Manchester United content going forward. Well, we never missed it before, but if you are new, then you're not going to miss anything going forward because you've hit the subscribe and bell notification button. Get to it. Let's get into the show then, shall we? Let's get comfortable. Let's get ready. Let's get prepared for some comments on this. It isn't what it seems. A lot of people would look at the title and everything that's going on with what I've talked about before with Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford. It's nothing like that, really. It is what happened off the back of what we discussed the other day with Jamie Redknapp. Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail, won't get them wrong, has been explaining and talking about the situation. He made a big piece and a big sort of opening on Sky, Jamie Redknapp's stupid, idiotic comments about basically throwing fuel on a fire that was sort of quietening down a little bit. And he's just put a bit more fuel on it to keep it going because really there's nothing much to explain. In terms of analysis on the game at Crystal Palace at weekend, Manchester United just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. That's all that needed to be said. It's a problem that we've had consistently at Manchester United. Well, Ten Hag has been in situ. And you've got to look at that and go, right, okay, so how can they analyse that? So you're alongside Phil Jones in the studio and Jamie Redknapp's making stupid, idiotic comments. And in Chris Wheeler's article in the Daily Mail, he talks about how this is completely false. Why Ten Hag came out and hit out at Jamie Redknapp after what Marcus Rashford had apparently said in the changing room. Marcus Rashford taken aback by this whole myth of a big fallout between Ten Hag, and something might have gone on because Jamie Redknapp said that behind the scenes, and it's why Marcus Rashford, having been in form, he's not in the team. Well, it's not, and there was no fallout between Ten Hag. There was an issue within formation, within system, and Rashford's in this article here, and what Chris Wheeler has said, for instance, Rashford feels that one of the main reasons for his alarming drop in goal output wasn't so much his lifestyle, but Ten Hag's decision to play him deeper on the left flank to protect his defence in the absence of a recognised left back. Now, we've seen Rashford's attitude on the pitch. He really doesn't want to be that man that's tracking back, defending. He wants to be up there in the lights, getting the goals, and that's what we're ultimately judging him on, which is fair criticism. My issues with Rashford aren't really, the deep lying ones are off the pitch and what happened last season. The only way that he can rectify that is on the pitch, and he feels like he really didn't get the opportunity to rectify his form or prove the doubters wrong because he was played more in a defensive left-hand sided role, and he was given more responsibility in tracking back and helping out the defence because of this myth of not having a recognised left back. Well, what's the form this season then? Because Dallow's been playing at left back just like he was pretty much the whole of the back end of last season. So I'm not sure about that one. But this is what Chris Wheeler is saying in his article after that game. And it was off the back of the stupid Jamie Redknapp comments. I think we can all understand a little bit of what the issue was with Marcus Rashford and Ten Hag. I think there would have been confusion amongst the ranks. I think there would have been friction amongst it because Ten Hag obviously had publicly come out and said he was dealing with the situation it was Marcus Rashford last season. He really didn't come back to form at all for Manchester United. A few key goals here and there, which helped Manchester United a little bit, but nothing much. And now it looks like with a more settled backline, a more confident defence, Ten Hag is trusting more in Marcus Rashford going forward. Chris Rigg, the goals on in the article to actually say. Either way, one assumes it will all be forgotten as Marcus Rashford is in the starting lineup against FC 20 on Wednesday evening, when Ten Hag will want to kick off the Europa League campaign with a win. I think we're all expecting Rashford to be back in the starting lineup against FC 20 on Wednesday night, but obviously that will come and we will see what happens from there. But United obviously are top topics, and they are the page fillers, the column fillers, the clickbait. They are everything when it comes to news, and I feel like Sky can definitely take a big chunk of the blame here, especially Jamie Redknapp, in making something out of absolutely nothing. But it just gets more speculation talking about Ten Hag's tactics, about what Ten Hag was doing with Marcus Rashford. Was it his fault that Rashford didn't actually hit form again? I think Rashford inadvertently blaming Ten Hag for the system, but not really blaming him. He's just saying he needed to do his bit for the team. Like, obviously, Marcus Rashford's attitude last season and body language was completely off. And whether or not it was Jadon Sancho leaving and everything being put to bed, like Sancho, Wan-Bissaka and Marcus Rashford always pit together. That was a little bit of a click and like a chums group, really, you could say. With them three. And now that Wan-Bissaka is gone, now that Jadon Sancho is gone, and this has been dealt with, Marcus Rashford fully looks like he's concentrating on what's needed, and the only way he will convince anybody is putting in performances on the pitch, scoring goals, hitting the headlines for the right reasons, and Ten Hag will keep on picking him. Ten Hag keeps picking him even though he's not playing well, and we've seen that before. Last season was prime example of that, and this season has been the same up until the Crystal Palace game, which took everyone by surprise, really. Or should it have? Are we just expecting Ten Hag to be the same manager that he was last season? We've praised Ten Hag for trying to rotate things, so why are we having a go at him for dropping Marcus Rashford? We sort of get drawn in as a fan base into the same debate and conversation and arguments amongst the media and our fellow fans, opposition fans and everything when certain things happen. But we need to just remember, like, it's still better than what it was last season in terms of what we were actually performing like on the pitch, shape-wise, performance-wise, chances created and chances conceded specifically. We talked about that this morning as well, and it is better. So, again, I go back to the start of what I said at the top of the video. If United are doing well, everybody else in the media is doing shit. Everybody at Sky, there's nothing to talk about. There's no big go-in videos that they can clip up, like Jamie Carragher's explanation of Manchester United's defence last season that's done the rounds and gone viral. Debates between Keane, Carragher and Gary Neville that are constantly going on all the time about United and standards and things like that. It sells. Manchester United sells, and it sells better within the media when things are not going as well on the pitch. Bring in the fact that Marcus Rashford was on the bench, Redknapp making a big pig's ear out of his comments and making a big deal out of nothing has led to all of this and more little spin-off articles and other tweets going on about Rashford calling out Ten Hag's tactics. Look, Ten Hag looks like he's just told Marcus Rashford to do a job, and he's putting that down to his goal output falling off a cliff because he's had to do a bit more defensive work. Yeah, there is an element to it, but again, I'm like, well, it's still Dalot and you're scoring goals now. And Dalot's still the left back now because Shaw's still not fit. Do you know what I mean? You know where I'm going with it. And I feel like, again, it's just been blown up into that story and article that really didn't need to be there, but it is for reasons that I've just explained, which is Manchester United sells. It's as simple as that. Let's get into the comment section on this one, see what you're all at and where you're saying on Marcus Rashford. Anthony says, IO wingers are not expected to go forward and defend, ? We have two of the very best in the Premier League history in Giggs and Beckham. What makes Rashford so special? Well, this is it. You can make your own mind up from comments like this, but there is no rift, but still, he thinks it's more down to tactics and the role he had to do. Now, you can judge Marcus Rashford on that and his attitude too, taking one for the team. I mean, Wayne Rooney used to constantly do it, always dropping back into whatever positions Alex Ferguson said. I feel like it's just, again, us talking about it now because it's come out because of what Sky have said, though. And it will always come down to that. It will always come down to someone making more out of a certain debate and conversation that's now triggered other side conversations and debates going on. But what you have to look at is the fact of where it came from and when it came out. And who actually was talking about it. And you could kind of sort of feel it within Phil Jones's sort of body language and how he was reacting to what Jamie Redknapp was saying. Like, Redknapp just goes in for the headlines, doesn't he? It's the reason why he's on the late night shows, and it's the reason why he's on the late afternoon shows. He just isn't as good as Carragher and Neville or Keane or any of the other pundits. He never gets the big gigs, and I feel like that's the reason. He'll say something silly in one punditry or one moment in a game when he's talking afterwards or before or in between, and he'll just get blown up into something else. I do think he just needs to, like, it's not so much like read the room or anything. It's like do some research, Jamie, and actually read into it properly. Don't talk about something you really haven't got a clue what you're talking about. And I think that's where we're coming from this. So there has to be an explanation for the drop-off in form. And it's been brought up within Chris Wheeler's article of the Mail that it was down to formation. Ten Hag asking Rashford to play a different role. I'm not having it, but look, that's why he's saying the drop-off in form was he's not used to doing that role. I don't know. Like, we know that Marcus Rashford doesn't really track back. He never really has at Manchester United. And under different managers, you could say there's different instructions and it can always change. And he's sort of like in between and mixed up. I don't know. Like, whatever excuse, everyone's got to take one for the team. And you have to do your defending as well as your attacking. The numbers still don't add up for Marcus Rashford and they need to get better is what we need to say. I think that's the biggest point in all of this, that his performances have still not been good enough. Please give the video a like. We're creeping up to that 100 mark. Only 25 likes away from 100 live likes. Keep them likes coming in, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday evening. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. You're streaming in a cave, Adam. No, it's a perfectly set up studio. People with them black comments, like, seriously, come on. You need to do better. You really need to do better. I'm sure you can see everything that is behind. And I love the studio. So, no. Hope you're doing well, UK matey. I hope everyone is well. I can see most of the mods in the chat there as well and loads of members. Let's get into some more of your comments on this. Don't mind the rotation as long as Anthony's kept on the bench. Look, Anthony did all right in the Carabao Cup, Jeffrey. Maybe give him some of them games just to keep him interested. Like we said, like everyone within the squad in good spirits is always better than isolating players. It causes problems, doesn't it? Because I'm guessing Anthony's got a good relationship with a lot of the other Portuguese, South American talking players. And one bad egg definitely disrupts the rest. And you just want everyone feeling like they're part of it. So I would still keep Anthony involved at arm's length, yeah. Doing a job here and there, yes. Just make him feel like he is part of it, like I've always said. Jonathan Dayton says, I thought Rashford had a poor season and that's judging him on trying to score. If Rashford is now saying he is also performing defensive duties, then his season was even worse than I thought it was. Good point from Jonathan there. Stuart says Rashford is just inconsistent. Simple as. He can't be great for a couple of games, then be rubbish for the next couple of games. Nope. That is consistency, which is needed at United. You could say that about anyone. Everyone should do better. Rashford a lot more than others, though, Jake. I think we can all agree on that one. Can't Anthony play left back? Yeah, if you want to upset him again. Anyway, I think Ten Hag needs a translator. I think he is getting his English words mixed up, same as Conte. Bringing me on perfectly to our next topic, which is RUUD van Nistelrooy's effect in dealing with probably situations like Rashford and Ten Hag, but also other situations within Manchester United. It is seen as, and the Muppeteers were talking earlier on about this, and they put a tweet out saying RUUD van Nistelrooy is more than bridging the gap that Raymond van der Gaag could not, which is that language barrier. Now, we know Ten Hag speaks English. We understand what he's saying. He does get lost in translation, and the message, I reckon, gets lost in the middle there as well, in terms of what he wants his players to do and how he wants his system to work. And the system has worked a bit better on the pitch this season. Yeah, results are still as bad, and results are not helping his cause. But RUUD van Nistelrooy has gone a long way into making it easier for players to understand what Ten Hag's message is. He is the player he is the man that the players would go to. If you've got RUUD van Nistelrooy, and when he first came in, Van Nistelrooy, and we first heard the news, I was big on the fact that it would be massive for Manchester United to get him, simply for this reason, which was him being the man that was the voice for the players. He would be the one that relayed the message across. If you didn't understand what Ten Hag was saying, and like I said, he does talk English, but sometimes it's hard to understand him. I think Van Nistelrooy speaking perfect English and more than understandable, I feel, is why Manchester United are starting to perform better. It's like getting more people on board, more voices than one. It's like sometimes you would say, look, too many chefs in the kitchen spoil the broth. But I feel like many hands make light work. And when you're trying to relay a message across or fit a system in place, when you've got 2 or 3 coaches that fully understand it and can relay that message to the players, it's a lot easier than Ten Hag trying to get it across himself. And I feel like that's where we're at right now. With Van Nistelrooy in situ, I do believe that Manchester United are going in the right direction, and he is playing a massive part in that. I think he is one of the main causes for the players understanding their roles a little bit more. And we've seen many pictures and many videos with him stood next to Marcus Rashford, trying to explain to Marcus Rashford in warm-ups certain drills and things like that. And we'll see. I mean, I'll try and pick up on what I can tomorrow. Just so you guys know, I am at Carrington tomorrow. Open training, so I'll get a closer look at a few of the United players. I'm in Ten Hag's press conference tomorrow. Woohoo! The first official Ten Hag press conference for FUTV. Big up FUTV for Every United TV, everybody. We're breaking the mould. So yeah, tomorrow's content will be mixed up a little bit. So I'll keep you all posted on that. But make sure you stay tuned for midday tomorrow. We are there and we are in the house. So I'll see how things have changed. I'll see how the vibe is around Carrington. Is it more upbeat? Is anything changed from when I was there last time? And yeah, actually, yes, sorry. Kaz did just correct me there. We did the FA Cup at Wembley. But in terms of getting in at Carrington, let's just say that, the first one. We did have the FA Cup one, but not the post-match. The first pre-match press conference for Ten Hag here on Forever United TV. We have just passed over 100 likes. Please keep them coming in, everybody. In terms of Van Nistelrooy, get your comments in now. Do you feel like he is making an impact? Do you feel like he is helping Ten Hag in getting that message across? It does look that way, doesn't it? It does look that way. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Oops. Sorry. My equipment is going down simply because I had a spider on my wire. I had to make sure that it didn't get itself burnt out. Flicked it across the other side of the room. Director of Football says, please let these Allegri rumours be real. United are a manager and 2 or 3 players away from challenging. Erik Ten Hag doesn't have the level, both coaching-wise and management-wise. No charisma. I mean, Allegri rumours, I don't think there's anything in that at all. I can't see that being real. I can't see that having any sort of legs in it. And I just think it's another story made up because Ten Hag is always under pressure. And Allegri's free. So I don't see Allegri being the type of manager that Ineos will bring in, though. The 2 United problems at United, Rashford and Bruno, says Alien Devils. Personally, I'd just like a few wins to talk about. That would be nice. We thought we were going to get it after weekend. UK Strange says, RUUD! Peter says, it's a whack. A mole job fix one problem, defence, and now we can't get the ball to the front man to score goals. Look, we've never scored goals under Ten Hag prolifically. No one can say that the goals have dried up. No one can say that we've fixed one problem and then we now can't score because we couldn't score before. It's never been there for Manchester United. We've never been prolific goal scorers for while Ten Hag has been in charge, and I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it ever will change until we actually get everyone on board and they understand the system. Look, Ineos want attacking, nice football, and at the moment it's still not quite there, is it? It's not, but there is hope that we are creating chances. That's one thing we can say. I mean, Manchester United missing 17 clear-cut chances, top of the Premier League, and that stat alone this season tells you we're getting into better positions. And the football isn't as boring. It's not great still, I know that, but it's not as boring as it has been. I'll say that. RUUD van Nistelrooy looks level-headed. Manager's decisions is what is costing us at the minute, it says Anne B. Jay says, there's that many Ajax players there. It wouldn't surprise me if they speak Dutch behind the closed doors. All Ajax players aren't just Dutch players, you know. So there are a few that have come in from Ajax that aren't actually Dutch. A couple of South Americans in Antony and Lisandro Martinez. You know, they're not everyone. And like, let's just say Eriksen's Danish as well. So, yeah. We have got plenty of orange at Manchester United, though. Nah, feck it. I'm not having it. Erik Ten Hag is an idiot. Kept playing Rashford when he stunk. Dropped him when he's playing well. Ask about Maguire, I dare you. I'll bring up questions. If I get a chance to ask a question, that is. I'll talk about Maguire. Is it time to rest that heavy metal centre back Lisandro Martinez and put Maguire in? What is he doing tomorrow in terms of tomorrow? Sorry, Babs, I don't know what you're talking about there. Erik Ten Hag isn't ruthless enough to win the Premier League. I don't think Erik will win the Premier League with United ever. I've said that. Can he get us in the top 4? Yeah, he can. He's done it before, and he should be doing it again this season. If he doesn't, then he's going to get the sack. Still convinced of that. But he will get to the end of the season at least. It's very noticeable that our attacking play has improved a lot. I think RUUD has to be behind this. It's a pity our forward players can't finish like he did. Yeah, we haven't got a player like RUUD. We've still not got that out-and-out poacher number 9 player in there. I did a special video at lunchtime on Bayern Cherry, the new face of Manchester United's academy, the under-18s Welsh forwards. I did a special video on him. Go watch that back later on once this video is finished. An in-depth look as to how Ineos are approaching and Manchester United are approaching the academy and how many players we actually have got at our disposal. In this game this week now against FC20, United can they can name 12 subs. And there's a shout for a lot of the young academy players to be in the Manchester United squad on Wednesday. So that'll be interesting to see who actually makes the bench. I think we're going to have multiple options. I don't think there's enough room on the bench at United, to be honest. We're going to be going into the stands, I think, just for extra room for the amount of players we can put on there. Spurs were spot on. No charisma. Allegri is an elite coach. Without Bruno and Erik Ten Hag, United will be free to become United again. A bottle of champagne is waiting for the day he's sacked. For anyone just joining us, like director of football, regular contributor and member of the channel, really does not like Erik Ten Hag. I don't know if you picked up on that vibe, but yeah, just thought I'd clarify. Ten Hag, no win, nothing, and play bad football, nothing results, is cursed. I think that's what you were supposed to say there, mate. Billy says, Adam, I would drop Bruno and play Xerxes at 10. What's your thoughts on this? I talked about that this morning, actually, and a little bit last night on Xerxes, in giving him time and in getting overly criticised when he really didn't deserve it. I feel like Xerxes can play that 10 role, and Bruno can be rested out of the side, or even put on the bench. And Xerxes, I would love to see Xerxes, Højlund, and then Garnacho and Ahmad. Or even Xerxes, Rashford, Garnacho and Ahmad, just to mix it up. Like, there are other ways to play that front four that United do. So, yeah, Adam says, Adam, are you going to go to the Spurs Stadium October 6th to watch my New York Jets versus Minnesota Vikings? I'll send you a Jets NFL jersey. Jets are my team, actually, mate, from when I was over in the States. Believe it or not, that's madness. No, I don't know if we are or not, actually. I don't think we are because United are playing on that day against Spurs. So, unfortunately, we won't be because United are playing at 4:30. Love it, though. I love it that we actually do support the same NFL teams. Really interesting, actually. But yeah, no, you don't need to send me anything, mate, at all. That's totally, completely up to you. But yeah, love the Jets. Unfortunately, not doing fantastic. Is Adam having IT problems again? No, I'm not having IT problems. I did have spider problems, Babs. Why? What is the issue, Babs? Tell me. Let me know. If anyone has having any problems with anything, do let me know. Please don't ask about Maguire again at the press conference. If you know, you know. I love you, Adam. James, love you too. I'll ask whatever I want, like I did before. Some plebs actually don't actually listen to the whole press conference and then make a song and dance about it for content. If you know, you know. Jets as green, silver and black support the 49ers. They wear red and white. We can't win everything, can we? As much as I like Bruno, does Erik Ten Hag not realise he can drop or take off his captain when he's not playing well? I mean, them stats for Bruno at weekend were quite harsh, weren't they? They were... I think he lost possession 34 times, the most in the Premier League this season so far. You can't hide around stats like that, can you? You just can't, and it's a tough one. It's a tough one, and there's a simple way around it. It is resting Bruno Fernandes. It is. It's resting him, giving him a chance, and just letting him recover and watch from the sidelines. We've said this many a times before. Bruno off the bench could be an absolutely lethal weapon for Manchester United. Come on, guys, let's get them likes moving. We're only at 121. We need at least 200. Please give the video a like, everybody. Loving everyone being in. Keep your comments coming in. As much as I like Bruno, does Erik Ten Hag... Oh, said that one, sorry. Michael Phillips, we need to go through highs and lows to learn, and then I think it becomes automatic. Just take Arsenal, for example. Finishing 8th twice. 5th once helped... the team be more consistent in future years. I think we're building to that under Ineos. We definitely are. 100%. In other news as well, going into how Manchester United are playing, I think Samuel Luckhurst did a piece in the MEN talking about how the powers that be and the men in suits above Ten Hag are actually happy with the progress Manchester United are making. That being that the football is a bit easier on the eye, and results are not that important at the moment. Well, not so much results are not important. Results are everything, because that's what pays the wages at the end of the day. Actually getting in them 3 points every now and then would be nice. It takes the pressure off. But in terms of the spectacle, in terms of what they're watching, it has been said and reported that they are not too concerned with where Manchester United are at. And things are actually on the up. Or looking like they're on the up anyway. So, yeah, it's what we expected. Remember the report come out and the comments coming out about Ineos not being too fussed regarding the results and the form of the football team. The results, and it was more about the progression on the pitch. They came out about just over a month ago, them remarks, I feel. And I think that where that's all right, yes, and we want to enjoy watching football again, there's still that tendency, like I was saying this morning, for Manchester United's heads to fall off, and they not actually get the right performance in that's needed. So we can have a good first half, good 60 minutes like we did against Crystal Palace, and then because it hasn't worked out, our heads fall off. The mentality and the culture is the most important thing at Manchester United. And we are working on that and working overtime on that. And things are looking good behind the scenes. But on the pitch, things need to start shaping up a little bit. And soon. Ten Hag is going to get a good chunk of time at Manchester United, like I've said. But he does need to start getting the odd result in the bag as well. Otherwise, the pressure will just start to mount and get to a point where we're now looking at Ten Hag and going, what game is he going to go? Even if the football is better to watch, you need results. And it's down to the players to actually perform for him for a consistent 90 minutes, which we've never seen. I cannot remember the last time. With the new structure and the size of the club, trust me, no manager on the planet will turn down the chance to be the one that takes United back to the top, no matter the cost. Sack him, says Director of Football. Adam, do you think Mason Mount will become another Donny van der Beek? I don't think so, no, because he's better. He's a miles better player. He's a 20 times better player than Donny van der Beek, in fact. And I believe that, I touch everything wood-wise and try and convince myself that Mason Mount will come back and be stronger when he does come back. I think he will be. And I think this time, I can't really say that, can I? Because it could just happen again and Mason Mount just falls off again and another injury comes around and smack bang, there you go again. It is what it is, isn't it, with Mason Mount, sadly. And United, realistically right now, are in a position where they just have to trust this new medical team that they've got it right with Mason Mount. We expected him to be 6 weeks. He's come back quicker. Is that good or is that bad? And you know what I mean by that. Is it rushing a player back when he isn't fully recovered? Or was it not as severe as we first thought? I mean, that's a great thought. But when it's Mason Mount, I don't think it is that good, because we're always going to have that concern, like, have we just tried to get him back too soon again? And we're going to end up with Mason Mount falling off and being injured yet again. I don't know which way to look at it. I don't know which way to sort of say is best with that, but still. Just to remind you of all of the news that we started off the show with, was there actually a fallout between Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford behind the scenes? It looks like it was been built up out of nothing. From the Jamie Redknapp conversation, the Daily Mail and Chris Wheeler has had an article out talking about where Rashford feels he is fallen off his goal-scoring form from, which was Ten Hag playing him in a more defensive role down the left, and that's why there has been the fall-off in form, because he's been asked to do a different job that he's not as comfortable with. Not that there's been a fallout behind the scenes, and it's not his personal life that's affecting his form. He is fully committed, as he said, and we are now moving forward with the same left-back and the same situation as it was last season, with Rashford now scoring goals. So you make of that what you want, but the reality is the media inadvertently made it bigger than what it was, and it all stemmed from Sky and Jamie Redknapp making a pig's ear out of a nothing conversation, let's be honest. We have 5 new members in the house. They've all been gifted by the legend that is Modern Samurai. Thank you, my man. Absolute legend of the channel. Their members have gone to Peter, they've gone to Farnood, Rudvesh, Liam, MK Fox, and London. Good to have London. Oh, no, that's not London. I'd already said them all. London just came up with a comment. I like ice hockey. Good for you, mate. Babs is in the chat and she says, I hope we get this wonder kid because we face competition from other clubs and he has already made the under-18s and would be a good midfielder for the future. Over to Dan Ashworth, Babs, and the new recruitment team. We have to have confidence in that new recruitment team because they have shown before that they can get deals done, even when there is severe competition. So let's just see. Let's just see on that one. But we did talk about that this morning, about Riggs. He was excellent in the weekend. He has been playing since 15 in the Championship, like at Sunderland, and that's ridiculous on its own, a player to be playing that young. But just goes to show, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and he is. On to the last bit that I wanted to talk about, which was Manchester United Stadium build. I'm sure you've already seen the Labour conference and everything that's going on, the Manchester Trafford Wharf and Trafford Park and the whole sort of Salford Quays map and model. It's all over social media, and Manchester United's so-called plans and future look on what the area might look like. And obviously we've seen many people... Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Manchester, has been out talking about it as well and what they're going to do and what the plans are. The one thing to take from it, from this Labour conference, Gary Neville's been slaughtering Sky in terms of Richard Masters and how they held teams to ransom and everything. Careful, like they do employ you, mate. But one thing to come from it, and the most important thing to come from it, is, again, like we've said before, it will all have to be paid by Sir Jim Radcliffe because the Glazers are not going to put anything in the pocket. And it's been made clear, again, by the government that there will be no government funding for Manchester United to rebuild Old Trafford or the area around. They may get some for developing the area to make it, let's just say, a better matchday experience, or bringing jobs to the area, or regenerating the whole area, because it is very industrial derelict around Old Trafford. If you've been there, you know. But no funding at all from the government on that, and Manchester United will have to fund it themselves. Someone's going to have to get their hand in the pocket, and I feel like it will be Sir Jim Radcliffe. We did a video not too long ago, actually, talking about House of Jim Radcliffe, he's looking to take more control of Manchester United. And for exchange for that, he's willing to pump his own money in to start and kickstart this whole new stadium build, the 100,000 seater stadium and the regeneration of the area. So really, you've just got to look at what movement the Glazers are willing to take in terms of the power. And so Jim Radcliffe, this is the only way he can sort of get his ideas across. He's going to have to put his own money where his mouth is, unfortunately for him, to make this happen. So we will see. We'll see what happens from there, and we'll see what comes of it. But still, I feel like United are more interested in getting the plans out in December, getting everything on the way, and really gauging the fan base and what they want. Because them emails went out as well on Friday. So, yeah. That's where we're at with everything so far with Manchester United. And that is your evening show tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Love that. Great comments again. Welcome new members. Welcome new subscribers as well. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers. Please do give the video a like and make sure that you have that subscribe button. It is important that we get them subscribers in because they help the channel grow. They help us produce better content, and they will all be more than welcome. I'll say that. Quickly as well, there is no podcast tomorrow night. We are moving the podcast to Friday nights now, the same as last week, everybody. So the United Couple podcast is now going to be on a Friday night. So look forward to that then, guys. And I will see you on that as well. But for now, we're done. I'm going to go training, and I will see you all first thing in the morning. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. And yeah, here we go. Wait for the content tomorrow. It's going to be a big one. Heading into Carrington. Love it. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you all later.